afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to race number 10 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. Getting ready here for our first stop at a road course here this season. We are here on the West Coast in California at Sonoma Raceway, or better known now as Infineon Raceway. This is going to be a very difficult task for a lot of drivers who are not very well experienced in road course racing. Very slippery conditions, really hard racing. Let's get the command to fire up Division 1.
Drivers, start your engines!
And also the points continue to be as close as possible each and every week, although last week was a bit of a runaway for the current points leader, Ty Dent. So we'll see how he does here today in his first road course start in Snickers Cup Series competition, as Brendan Berg and Austin Weiner start on the front row. Berg picking up his first pole of the season, trying to go to victory lane for the first time in his Snickers Cup Series career. Weiner trying to go to victory lane for the second time in his Snickers Cup Series career, as he won earlier on this season. Also comes in 12th in the point standings. 17 laps of racing here today. Pit stops will be a factor. Fuel strategy will be a factor. Who will be winning this race at the end of 17 laps? Green flag's out. We're underway here at Infineon. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get sorted out here with this double file start off. Austin Weiner looks like he may be able to take the lead here. Brendan Berg going to try and battle back though, but I think Weiner has gotten clear of him, and now the 40 is to the lead. So Austin Weiner with the top position. William Duncan just moved into second. Now the battle's on for third. Brandon Gonzalez now going to try and take that spot. Will do so. Berg now slides back to fourth. Maybe not for long. Here comes Dylan Poteet for that spot. So Brendan Berg did not get the benefit of starting on the pole position, as he has now slipped all the way back to fourth place, and now it looks like he's going to hang on to that spot. Poteet not able to make the move here coming out of the S's. So Weiner leads the way here, looking for his second win of the season to join the ranks of Robert Piet and Danny Wells as a two-time winner. Right behind him, William Duncan. It's been a while since William's been to victory lane in the Snickers Cup Series event, and William Duncan had a great run last week at Las Vegas. It moved him up into the 9th position in points. So with another great opportunity and another good finish here today, 1 week later here at Infineon. And Brandon Gonzalez, little known fact, Brandon Gonzalez's first Mobile One Cup Series win came on fuel strategy at guess where? Right here at Infineon. He drove the number 53 Domino's Pizza Chevrolet to a victory. I remember that race very, very well. Dylan Poteet just lost a spot. He lost 5th position. Now to Tim Walsh. Walsh comes in 10th in the point standings, former winner this season, looking good right now. Tim Walsh, it's been about a season since we saw him last in Snickers Cup Series competition, and he's really taken back to it here. He's already got a victory, and he's running very well in the point standings. And there is Ty Dent. As I said, this is his first road course start in Snickers Cup. His first road course experience in NNSCRA, if I'm not mistaken, was back at Le Mans. And I don't rightly remember how he finished in that race, as now he's about to get a challenge. Joshua Balkowitz going to his inside. That would be for the 8th position. Andreas Allen right there as well. Going to try and see if he can get by for a spot. Matthew Dalio there also. A couple of other drivers come into this race running well in the point stands. Let's find out where they are. Harrison Langford is actually one of them. Langford in the 43, right now running back in the 40th position. Could be strategy though. You know, you can run here at the back, short pit, and then gain a lot of positions. We've seen it before. Right now he's running now in the 41st position, just ahead of dead last Luis Hernandez. Langford, as I said, came in 7th in the point standings. Chris Louvier is another driver who came in running well in points. Came in 8th in the standings. Right now he's running in the 20th position, trying to get up there with his Team Thunder Racing teammate, William Duncan. Question of when these drivers are going to have to pit, that's a big question. A bit of dust kicked up there in the S's. Caused some visibility problems here for these drivers. Battle on for the 5th position. Dylan Poteet has been able to come up onto the back bumper of Tim Walsh. Whoa, almost got into him there. That was a close call. Walsh will hang on to the spot, at least for now. There was a battle on for second as well. Brandon Gonzalez was trying to take the spot from William Duncan, and the yellow flag is out for the first time here today at Infineon Raceway. Now let's see who it involved. Looks like it could have been Corey Williams and Daniel Day. Daniel was 26th last time by. Corey Williams 32nd. And the yellow flag is waving for the first time here today at Infineon on lap 4. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened real quickly, because when we come back, these drivers may utilize some pit strategy. Now here's a look at what happened. Daniel Day, it was like he was thinking of going to the inside of Alan Cavanaro heading here into the S's, then thought better of it, and then he turns the wheel hard right again in order to try to make the move, and apparently just got a wheel spin there, and the car just went around on him. Could be also a factor of the tires going away here very early, because there's very hot conditions with the way that these drivers have to maneuver their way through the turns. The tire wear could be a huge factor, and there could have been very little grip for the 22. You saw Corey Williams have to actually go through the grass in order to avoid the 22 machine, and that's what lost him so many positions as well. So now comes the big question, pit or not? When these drivers got the green flag, the fuel window was about 17 to 20 laps. So they're going to have to pit at least once, unless they're able to clutch here under caution. But we did just run 3 straight green flag laps. So that's going to make the fuel consumption a little bit more than it normally would. Plus, throw into the factor as well the fact that Daniel Day had trouble with grip there. Heading into the entrance of the S's, tires could come into play here too, and it looks like everybody is going to come to pit lane here under this yellow flag. Austin Weiner going to lead a long 42-car snake down the pit lane, and now comes the big question. Do you go with a 4-tire and fuel stop? Do you try risking it and do some strategy to pick up track position? What do you do in order to get yourself in a good position now? Do you take the risk for positions, or do you go conservative and remain where you are? Wait until the 40 comes down to his pit stall, which will be pit stall number 2. He started on the outside of the front row alongside of Brendan Berg. And once he hits his pit stall, we will go to pit lane 1 and watch the battle on the pit lane. He's on pit road. Let's head to our pit lane camera. See what's going to go on here. The leader going to go for left side tires. Looks like everybody's going left sides. And that's going to be it for both Weiner and Duncan. They're down and away. Walsh is gone. Brendan Berg gone. They're all just going for left side tires. And that was it. Extended stay there for the 77 of Andreas Allen. Now he's down and away. I think they want to make sure that car was completely full of fuel. But here they all come off of pit road. And it will be Weiner still the leader. He just barely beat William Duncan off the pit lane. I believe Tim Walsh came out 3rd, and Brendan Berg, I think, came out in the 4th position. Extended stays as well for Noah Hart and Gene Sanford. They're going to start near the rear of the field. They may have gone for 4 tires. Alright, so as the result of the pit stops, here's the top 10 as we go back green. Weiner is the leader. 2nd place, William Duncan. Tim Walsh jumped from 5th to 3rd due to his pit stop. 4th place is going to be Brendan Berg, and Brandon Gonzalez lost 2 spots on pit road. He fell to 5th. Joshua Balkowitz jumped up 6 spots from 12th to 6th. Johnny Gardner, he'll restart 7th. Poteet will restart in 8th. 9th place will be Ty Dent, and Matthew Dallio picked up 3 spots on pit road. He'll restart in the 10th position. So we saw a strategy definitely take place there. Tim Walsh a little bit faster on pit road. Brandon Gonzalez a little slower, and Balkowitz gained 6 spots on pit road. He's going to restart in the 6th position. Here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Single file restart this time. And the big question now is, was that the only pit stop these drivers are going to have to make, or are they going to have to pit again? Oh boy. That's what I love about Infineon. You never know. You never can tell what's going to happen, not even when the white flag waves. Weiner leads him down. Green flag going to come back out. We're back underway here at Infineon. By the way, nobody retired from that caution flag. Corey Williams, Daniel Day, all continued on, made pit stops. They're all still on the lead lap. Things got a little wadded up there from about third place on back. Austin Weiner and William Duncan both were able to get away from Tim Walsh. And it may come between those two, at least here for this segment, to battle it out for the lead. Weiner now opens up about a 2-3 car length advantage between himself and William Duncan. And going back to the statement I just made about you never know even on the final lap, remember back to the very first Mobile One Cup Series race here at Infineon? I believe it was the very first photo finish in NNSCRA history, where Robert Van and Anthony McCurry battled it out to the stripe, and McCurry by about half a car length won here at Infineon. So that's why I say that you never know, even when the white flag waves, you don't know what the scenario is going to be when they come back to the stripe one lap later. Things kind of settling in for what looked like are going to be a green flag run. One driver just came into pit road. Who in the world was that? That was Fitzwater in the 76. Also James McLeod in the 51. Ian Siegel in the 186. Trevor Gelfie, as well as Charles Jackson. Now this is interesting. They're all coming in and pitting. Chris Washer now in pit road as well. They're all pitting just when we went back to green. So they're probably thinking along the same lines I am, that this thing's going to settle into a long green flag run. Is that going to be a factor into the outcome of this race? That short pitting that those drivers just did. And ironically enough, think about it. Two of those drivers that just pitted were James McLeod, who won last week at Las Vegas, and Charles Jackson, who finished second last week at Las Vegas. So do they know something that we don't? Very, very interesting strategy. Is anybody else going to pit here now, or were those the only drivers that did? Now, they're probably going to stay on the tail end of the lead lap, because this is a very big road course. I'm looking at pit road entrance to see if anybody else comes to pit road. Doesn't look like anybody came to pit road this time. So about 6 drivers trying some strategy here. Is it going to pay off for them? I don't know, but it very well could. There's Siegel, there's Fitzwater, there's Gelfie, McLeod, last week's winner, Charles Jackson, and Chris Washer. Those were the 6 who decided to utilize a little bit of pit strategy here. And you know, it's kind of ironic too, one of the drivers, Chris Washer, the last road course stop we made was last season, race number 28 at Thornton, and Chris Washer was the winner of that race. Right now, though, things have definitely broken up near the front of the field. Weiner leads, Duncan second, then it's quite a ways back to Tim Walsh, then Brendan Berg in fourth, Joshua Balkowitz fifth, Gonzalez in sixth, but he just ran off course a little bit. That's going to bring Ty Dent right to his back bumper, along with Austin Talley. Potential battle here for seventh, as Ty Dent is right on the back bumper of the 23, but then kind of slipped up there in turn 11, and now Austin Talley going to try to get the inside. Ty Dent able to get the run off the corner and keep that position. Battle may be on for the 4th position pretty soon. Brendan Berg has it. Joshua Balkowitz starting to close in there in the GameStop Dodge. Balkowitz comes into this race 17th in the point stands. He's yet, though, to pick up a Snickers Cup Series victory. As a matter of fact, Joshua Balkowitz had one of the best starts to Season 9 of any driver. He didn't qualify for the Daytona 500. However, in his first 3 starts, he had an average finish of 4th place. Didn't have a win, but a 4th place average finish really showed that he had some great, consistent momentum on his side. Talked about James McLeod being the winner last week. Well, 3 of the 4 Tweenix Racing drivers have gone to victory lane this season. Twice with Danny Wells, once with McLeod last week, and Sean Henley. Dylan Poteet is the odd man out. He has not yet been to victory lane this season. He would love to be able to get Tweenix Racing all 4 of their drivers a victory here in Season 9. Right now in the 11th position, looking very good. And Pichu London, I kind of really felt bad for him last week at Las Vegas. He started on the pole position, got involved in a wreck, and finished out of the race, as I recall. Right now he's having a good run in 12th position. And you know, the interesting thing in the back of my mind is so often I forget that Pichu London is a former NSRA champion. He's a former Mobile Cup Series champion. And I seem to always forget that until it just all of a sudden kind of pops back in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He is a former champ in this series. A couple of teammates there out of Young Motorsports. Tanner Sullivan, former winner this season, back at Rockingham, UK. And right behind him is rookie teammate Kyle Miller. Their teammate Chris Kyle went to victory lane a couple of weeks ago at Talladega. They're trying to pick up the 3rd win of the season for Young Motorsports. As we'll jump back up to the front, see if anything's developing up there. Doesn't really look like it. Austin Weiner's actually been able to grow his lead over William Duncan. Now when we hit the stripe, we've got 7 laps to go. And I keep thinking back. Those 6 drivers, they short pitted. And if this thing goes green, does Austin Weiner have enough fuel to get to the end of this race? That time it looked like William Duncan may have closed the gap up just a little bit, not much though. And Austin Weiner's really been doing a great job here, kind of taking over as second in command, if you will, for what is now heavy metal hip-hop racing. His teammate Levi McIntyre started off the season by winning the Daytona 500. Weiner followed him a couple of weeks later, I believe it was at Atlanta, where he picked up his first Snickers Cup Series win. And now maybe en route to his 2nd win of the season. And you think back to his debut in NSRA, he drove last season the Last of Us Late Series and really had a very struggling time. As a matter of fact, think back to this, okay? Here's a little bit of irony for you. Anthony McCurry, I talked about that photo finish he and Robert Ban have. At that time, he was driving the number 36 OTC, 360 OTC Toyota. Austin Weiner, if he wins here today, the car he drove last season in the Last of Us Late Series was the number 36 360 OTC Toyota. And I know if Bob Jones were watching this video, he'd say, oh, Illuminati. But anyway, we got a possible battle shaping up for the lead again. William Duncan, back on the charge, has been able to close the gap up between himself and Austin Weiner with a little bit more than 5 laps remaining in this race. Apparently Duncan realizing it is crunch time. Time to make something happen. William Duncan running the same paint scheme he won the championship in the Utica Home Track Series. A series that was very dedicated to a lot of road course racing. So William Duncan knows how to get around road courses when it counts the most. But he's catching Austin Weiner is one thing, passing him's another. Austin Weiner has definitely been able to, as a rookie, develop veteran habits as far as racing, and it's gotten him to victory lane already once this season. It could end up getting to victory lane again. Duncan still continuing to try and close the gap up between himself and the 40. Duncan comes in 9th in the points. Austin Weiner comes in 12th in the points. Right behind them, Tim Walsh comes in 10th in points. So 3 drivers in the top 3 right now are going to leave with very good points days if they finish where they are. And what in the world? Tim Walsh has a huge gap back from him. Long ways back then to the 4th place, Brendan Berg, Balkowitz, Brandon Gonzalez, Ty Dent. So right now, Tim Walsh in good shape, at least to leave with 3rd place. He'd love to get up here, battle it out with these guys, though, for the potential win. But there's still that question of fuel. Can these drivers make it? Now, nobody has really had any problems as far as tire wear, it hasn't seemed. The only incident we had was Daniel Day, which could have very well been, too, just a little bit of a jerk of the wheel. We saw he was having trouble getting around the car in front of him at the time, which I think at the time was Zeke Marley. Might have just been that his car went into a slide. He might have locked up the brakes. It may not have actually been tire wear. Uh-oh! Oh, pit stops, baby! Austin Weiner is in the pit lane. Tim Walsh is going to stay out. William Duncan staying out. Is anyone else coming in? The leader hit pit road. Cycling through here. Nobody else is coming to pit road. It's just Weiner. Nobody else is coming to the pit lane. And these guys have got to be loving the fact that this is happening now. They may be good to go the rest of the way. Who knows? William Duncan, the leader now, in the 83. Now, is he going to be able to make it all the way around to pit road before having to stop for fuel? If Weiner couldn't make it, there's no way all these other guys are going to be able to make it another 3 laps. There's no possible way. So we can expect William Duncan on the pit lane here momentarily, along with Tim Walsh. Number 83 pit crew is currently up on the wall. They are going to pit this time. The question is, though, where is Duncan going to come out in relation to Austin Weiner? Here he comes. He's on the pit lane. Weiner, actually, that was a bit of strategy maybe on his part. A nice clean pit lane for him to be able to come down. Now Walsh is in. Berg, everybody else coming in. Is anyone else staying out? Doesn't look like anybody is willing to roll the dice here for one more lap. Although maybe Langford? Harrison Langford's going to stay out. So Langford's going to stay out here an extra lap. Where does this situate the 43 in all of this now? Oh my goodness, this is really going to come down to it. He jumped from 33rd to 5th at the line. Watch his tachometer on the top of the screen. He appears to still be up to full song. Trying to remember if he was one of those drivers who had an extended stay on pit road under that last caution, or only caution actually. He might have. And that might have been them getting the car completely full of fuel, putting him in position to be able to stay out this extra lap. Keep in mind too, Langford comes in 7th in the point standings. And he hasn't won since Season 7 when he had 2 victories when driving the 45 for Petty Enterprises. Right now, though, he is in good position, at least to try to maybe gain some track position. But we got to find out where he comes out in relation to William Duncan, in relation to Austin Weiner. And we also have to know if James McLeod and those guys came to pit road. Langford's in. McLeod's in. Gelfie's in. Fitzwater, Jackson, Ian Siegel, they all have pitted. So apparently that strategy did not work out in their benefit. And oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Where's the 40? They're scoring Duncan as the leader. Wait a minute. Is he further ahead? Where's Weiner? Where'd the 40 go? The 40's nowhere to be seen. Duncan's the leader. Where's the 40 car? All the way back in 36th. What in the world happened to him? What happened to Austin Weiner? He is scored in 36th place right now. The leader scored is William Duncan with Tim Walsh right on his back bumper. But what on earth could have happened to the 40 machine? Duncan leads the way. Walsh second. Balkowitz is now up to third with 2 laps to go. Something, I don't know if the 40 got a penalty, what happened, but something's happened, and the caution flag is out. Caution is waving. This is the race to the finish, folks. The race will end under yellow. Duncan leads the way. Walsh in second. Balkowitz in third. All 3 of those drivers in the top 20 in points coming into today's race. And William Duncan, I don't know what happened to Austin Weiner, but it's going to work out to Duncan's benefit. Through turn 11 for the final time under green, William Duncan's going to come to the line. He's going to take the checkered flag. He is going to win here today, Division 1 at Infineon. And Harrison Langford, McLeod, Jackson, those guys, they're still on the pit lane. Oh, and Zeke Marley, Steven Gonzalez, they're the drivers that brought out this caution apparently. Luis Hernandez also. And now McLeod, Fitzwater, and those guys are coming off pit road. This really cost them. Cost them big time. And there is Weiner gonna cross the stripe in the 25th position. The guy who dominated this race up until the end. Kyle Collins, Harrison Langford on pit road. There is Zeke Marley. A lot of damage on his machine. And that is your winner right there, William Duncan. Let's quickly jump back real quick, take a look at what put us under the caution to finish out this race, and then we'll come back for the checkered. Well, Austin Weiner is not going to be happy with himself. He missed his pit stall. Watch this as he's going to come into his pit stall. I think he overshoots it. Right there you're going to see he overshot it. You're going to see the car have to reset itself here in just a moment. Hasn't done it yet. And there it just reset itself. He overshot his pit box. He had to stay in his pit stall for a couple of seconds before they could service his car, and that's what cost Austin Weiner this win. Then here's what happened to put the caution out. Harrison Langford had just completed his pit stop. He comes back up on track and gets nailed by Winston Rivers. And then, that's not all. Then, we look further back here, and you're going to see Kyle Collins get into Nick Alton. Now, Alton's able to hang on to it. Collins, though, then tries to bring it back on track again, slides right in front of Zeke Marley. That's where Luis Hernandez gets involved. And look at how high up the racetrack the 13 went. Oh my goodness, look at that! Up and onto the hill, and then comes sliding back down. He flew all the way up to the fence at the top of that hill. And that is what brought out that caution flag. And I'm almost wondering, I don't know for certain, but I'm almost wondering if Fitzwater, Jackson, McLeod, if those guys maybe missed their pit stalls too. And that could be all down to the tire wear of sliding through their stalls. I don't know for certain. I cannot prove it. Oh, Steven! Wow. Close call there for the 555. But I can't prove it, but that almost seems like that might be what happened to them and why they stayed on pit road for so long. Well, the checkered flag has been displayed over the hood of William Duncan. We are just waiting for everyone else to cross the start-finish line for the standings to become official, but they will end with William Duncan as the winner here today. His first win of Season 9 and the first win for the team, Team Thunder. What a great victory there. Standings are now official. Tim Walsh going to finish in second, Joshua Balkowitz third, and Ty Dent, the points leader, again comes out with a miracle finish, fourth place here today. So 4 drivers in the top 4 who came in top 20 in points. Dent came in as the points leader, Duncan came in 8th, make that 9th, Walsh came in 10th, and Balkowitz came in 17th. So they're really going to get good finishes here today as far as points. Matthew Dallio, great run for him in 5th. Berg, the pole sitter, finishes in 6th. Pichu Lund in 7th. 8th was Brandon Gonzalez. 9th place, Austin Talley. And Tanner Sullivan is going to complete the top 10 here today. Take a look at the rest of the official finishing results. We did have both Harrison Langford and Zeke Marley finish out of the race. Those drivers who tried to utilize pit strategy, it didn't work for them. They finished 2 laps down each. Gelfie, McLeod, Washer, Fitzwater, Jackson, and Siegel. So tough break for them. But folks, that's the end of this race. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned as you're going to see your starting grid for Division 2, and we'll take you there now for the start of that race as we continue on here today at Infineon. Ready here for Division 2 racing here at Infineon. Kyle Corbett sits on the pole for this race. Corbett, a former Snickers Cup Series winner last season at Homestead, Miami, looking for his second win of the season. He'll start alongside of Cold Alley, who also won last season at Thornton, which was a road course. Let's go trackside quickly.
Drivers, start your engines!
But like I said, Corbett nor Cold Alley have been to victory lane yet this season. And actually, a couple of drivers that are running well in the point stands are starting up here near the front. You got Lisa Gonzalez, second in points, 25 points back of the points leader Ty Dent coming into this race, up here inside the top 5. Now remember, Ty Dent finished in the 4th position in Division 1. Lisa Gonzalez has to try at least finish 4th, maybe a little better to keep within that 25-point distance between herself and Ty Dent. And then also Carter Fargo right behind her, starting off in the 6th position. Fargo comes into this race 6th in the standings, so we'll see what those two are able to do, as they both have good qualifying positions for Division 2 racing. Here we go, though. Kyle Corbett and Cole Daly looking for their first wins of Season 9. Green flag is out. And if we're throwing road course into there, Kyle Matthews rolling off their 3rd. He won last season at Lime Rock, so you do the math. Looks like everybody's okay going through the first few corners here of this track. The battle's still on for the lead, though, between Cole Daly and Kyle Corbett. Looks like Daly's going to win out, at least for now, and he will indeed. He will move to the front. That's the second time today that we have seen the outside line get around the pole sitter for the lead. And now Lisa Gonzalez has moved into 2nd. Corbett now back to 3rd. 4th place Carter Fargo. And Jacob Lawler moved up quickly. He's now into the top 5. He's right behind Carter Fargo in 5th. It's actually a good battle going on there for that 3rd position. Corbett did not get going on the start. He dropped to 3rd. He's about to maybe lose 4th and 5th as Carter Fargo and Jacob Lawler are right there. Heading through turn 11, Fargo gets really wide through that corner. Here comes Lawler to the inside. That's the battle for the 5th position. Sorry, make that 4th. And there's a car coming to pit road already. There's a car that has just hit pit road. And that is the 38 of Webster Zygarde. Now, I don't know why he's coming to pit road so early, but apparently some strategy working here on the part of the 38 car. We'll see how that's going to put him in relation to how this race goes. Lawler did get around Carter Fargo. He's now up in the 4th position. As a matter of fact, the 3 representatives for Hendrick Daly Motorsports in this field are running 1st, 4th, and 6th, because you've got Kyle Matthews right there in the 6th position. Battle may be on for 3rd place in just a moment here. Actually, could be one for the lead. Cole Daly got really, really wide in that corner, and that's brought Lisa Gonzalez right to his back bumper. Is Lisa going to be able to make a move here coming into turn 11? As now Lawler, he's going to dive to the inside of Corbett. That's for the 3rd position. Here comes Lisa looking low. Almost made a little contact with the 88, but they keep it together, and Cole Daly's going to hang on to the lead at least for now. Lawler, through turn 11, was able to take the 3rd position away from Kyle Corbett. So Corbett, who started on the pole, has now slipped back to the 4th position. And I can't help but notice another driver back here that is very, very interesting. Joshua Michaels. The last time the Snickers Cup Series came here to Infineon last season, the winner of that race was Joshua Michaels. And here he is in the 8th position right now in Division 2, trying to come away with another good run. He comes in 29th in points, which with 126 drivers is actually pretty good in the point standing. So this is a place that I'm certain he was looking very forward to coming to, because he knew it was a track they were going to be able to do really well at. Move back up to the front, see if anything's developing. Looks like Cole Daly has been able to pull away now a bit from Lisa Gonzalez. Lisa about to actually fall into the clutches of Jacob Lawler's Farmers Insurance Chevrolet Camaro for the runner-up position. We've had some good hard racing already, and we're only now on lap 3, about to come over and put lap 4 on the board. And again, too, also, you know, we had a caution flag that allowed drivers in Division 1 to be able to come down pit road under yellow. Well, so far we haven't had a caution flag at this point, and this was around the time the caution came out in Division 1. So, you know, that calls into question whether these drivers are going to have to pit under green or not. It's a good battle going on back here with Joshua Michaels. He actually just got around Zach Krostowski for the 7th position. They were having a pretty good battle from turn 11 all the way up into turn 1. Krostowski now falls back to 8th. Nice run for Jonathan Zorling in the 78, right now running in the 9th position. And then there's Eric Burton, currently inside the top 10 in that 10th position. Eric comes into this race currently in the 13th position in points. So having a good run right now is the 95. And then there's right behind him Charles Sanford as someone got into the dirt further up. I believe that was Krostowski, and that's brought Jonathan Zorling right to his back bumper. That'd be a battle for the 8th position. Zorling peaking low, Krostowski throwing the block, not allowing him to be able to make a move, at least up to this point. So we'll try moving back up here to the front. Zorling was able to get alongside, but Krostowski just going to clear him as they get to the start-finish line. And now the battle may be on for the lead again. Lisa Gonzalez has been able to reel in Cole Daly, as has Jacob Lawler. So now it's a 3-car fight for the lead up here. Kyle Corbett and Carter Fargo doing the best they can to try and close in on this and make it a 5-man fight for the lead. Daly seems to be really good, though, once you start getting to the downhill portions of this racetrack. He then seems to open up his distance again between himself and Lisa Gonzalez. And you've seen right here, he's got about maybe a 2-car length lead in hand now. Oh, we got a battle on for the 4th position. Carter Fargo trying to get by Kyle Corbett for that position. Whoa, Joshua Michaels going a little wide off the S's there. And here's Kyle Matthews in the mix now as well. This is a 3-car, maybe a 4-car fight for 4th place. And Fargo will have the preferred line coming down here into turn 11. Kyle Matthews going to try and follow him there, try and move himself into the top 5 as Fargo moves to 4th. Matthews now looking for 5th, but Corbett might be able to get the run off the corner and will indeed do so. He'll hold on to 5th place, at least for now. Jacob Lawler apparently did not get through turn 11 very well because he lost touch with the top 2. Cole Daly now with about maybe a car length and a half between himself and Lisa Gonzalez. This is great for Lisa because Ty Dent did not win the Division 1 race, so that's no bonus points that he's going to have over her. Plus, she's running right now 2 positions better than Ty Dent did in Division 1. So if she can finish in 2nd, then she's going to have only a 23-point deficit to have to try and make up next week. And another driver that we didn't mention, last week's winner, Nick Pericles, in this field in Division 2. And he comes in 3rd in points. Right now, he's back in the 20th position right now. So this is not exactly where he needs to be running at the current moment, but it's Infineon. Strategy could very well come into play. And I thought I saw a battle for 2nd going on between Lawler and Lisa Gonzalez. Yes, that battle is still shaping up as they head over into turn 11. There's another battle back there. Kyle Matthews trying to hold off Joshua Michaels. That, I think, would be for 6th. Let's jump back to that right now, actually. There's Michaels trying to get to the inside of Kyle Matthews, and I'm indeed correct. That is the 6th position that is currently under contest. I believe the fuel window for these guys is somewhere around 10 to 11 laps. So we'll be seeing them coming into pit road very, very shortly. There's Clint Spillman. We saw his 2 teammates, Tanner Sullivan and Kyle Miller, have great runs inside 10th and 11th, I believe they were in Division 1. Clint Spillman for Young Motorsports right now running in the 12th position. He's having a very good run right now. Jeffrey Finguy right there in 13th, having a very good run. Finguy, I think, oh, okay, I thought he came in running well in the points, but he's outside the top 40 in points, so good run for him right now. And there's Bob Jones in the 27. Bob Jones, another driver that's been struggling this season, really needs a good run, having a good run right now in 14th place. There you see Jake Haynes in the 97. Haynes right now 38th in the points coming into today's race. One driver that's got the real big question mark above him is the 38 of Webster Zygarde. Right now scored in dead last because he was the only driver who has come to pit road in the span of this 7-lap green flag segment. And it's going to be really interesting to see because I don't know for certain, but does this mean, let's say that we end up going green and they have to pit, maybe they'll have to pit again, he'd be 1 lap better on fuel than everybody else. Is that going to come down to that? I don't know. Right now, things pretty calm up amongst the top 4 at least. Daly still continues to lead the way. Lisa Gonzalez not been able to really mount much of a charge as of late. Maybe the tires going away a bit here. Maybe going into a little bit more of a conservation mode. Lawler in the 3rd position. 4th place, Carter Fargo. Then you got Corbett in 5th, Michaels in 6th, 7th Kyle Matthews, 8th Krostowski, 9th Zorling, and Eric Burton right now in the top 10, with Charles Sanford and Jeffrey Finguy as well as Clint Spillman just behind. Battle on for 2nd again. Lisa Gonzalez that time slipped up in 11. Lawler going to try and clear, not able to do it this time, but he might be able to stay side by side with the 08 heading up the hill here. Let's see. Ooh, yep, he's still side by side. They'll carry this battle up into the upper portion of the track. Lawler may have the preferred line here, and he will indeed. He will now clear Lisa Gonzalez for the 2nd position, so it's now Hendrick Daly Motorsports 1 and 2. So now comes the question, with Jacob Lawler now clear of Lisa Gonzalez, can he run down his teammate for this victory? Think about it too, both of those drivers had wins at road courses last season. As a matter of fact, all 3 of the Hendrick Daly Motorsports drivers this season that won last season won at road courses. Daly won at Thornton, Lawler won at Tres Riveras, and Kyle Matthews won at Lime Rock. So we got a chance again of another Hendrick Daly Motorsports car going to victory lane at a road course. And look at how Lawler has now come right on the back bumper of his teammate. Both these drivers were former chasers last season. Lawler, however, was the only one of the 2 that made it into the Final 4 at the season finale at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Cole Daly was eliminated, I believe, in the 2nd elimination round. But he's got company. Jacob Lawler right on his back bumper. And if I'm correct, and I'm looking right now to see, I don't believe either one of these drivers come into the points inside the top 40. And I do not see them inside the top 40 in points at all. I think that both these drivers really could benefit from a victory. The question is, though, which one of them wants it more? Daly has led every single lap so far. And we're on lap 10, folks. I predict these drivers are going to pit within either this lap or the next lap. And if so, will that set them up for the finish of this race? And here we go. Getting ready now for some pit stops as Carter Fargo rolls the dice and will stay out in the 19. Fargo stays out. Daly, Lawler, and Lisa Gonzalez are in. We're going to stick on the 88. We'll jump to a pit road camera once Daly goes into his pit stall. A couple other drivers staying out as well. That was Jonathan Zorling, Eric Burton, Finguy, Sanford, Bob Jones, Jake Haynes, Brad Mojo, PJ Williams, Lyndon Wright, Zach Rogers. Looks like maybe Matt McIntyre, Christopher Pierce decided to stay out. It looks like also Nilo Balvin, Benjamin Miles. Couldn't tell who that car was. Robert Piet staying out. Brandon Crasta, Dylan Young, and Eric Powers, and a number of others too that I did not mention. Who's going to be first off pit road? Lawler's coming out. And did he beat out his teammate Daly? I think he did. Daly got held up by the pace car. Daly didn't avoid the pace car. Whoa! That was quite a turn of events. Daly almost ran into the back of the pace car. He had to slow up, and his teammate Lawler got out ahead of him. And Carter Fargo's the one that cycles around as the leader. Now he's in. Fargo's in. Here comes Zorling, Burton, Finguy, Sanford, Jones, Haynes, Mojo, PJ Williams, Rogers, Wright, Pericles, Irving, Matt McIntyre, Mason Powers, Danny Wells, Dougie Shears, Nilo Balvin, Momo Akari, Christopher Pierce, Theo Stegall, Canepa, Bella Davis, Robert Piet, Kavanaugh, Crasta, Dylan Young, and Eric Rogers. So now let's keep close watch on the 19 of Fargo. is he going to be able to come off pit road before Jacob Lawler does? Getting that car completely full of fuel. Left side's going on. Where's the 5? He's coming by right now. He may beat Carter Fargo out. Fargo's got to hurry. He's just coming out of pit road now. Can he get up to speed ahead of Lawler? Here he comes out. Lawler's coming up. Oh, boy. I think Fargo beat him out, but Lawler's right there. He's right there with him. We just last week at Las Vegas had Mercedes go to victory lane for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history. Can the Buick Regal, with Carter Fargo behind the wheel, go to victory lane for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history here at Infineon? Carter Fargo ran full-time last season in the Last of Us Late Series. He's got a former Snickers Cup Series champion right behind him, though. Cole Daly cycles out in 3rd. 4th place, Lisa Gonzalez. 5th is Joshua Michaels. 6th will be Eric Burton. 7th, Jeffrey Finguy. 8th, Krostowski. 9th is Corbett. And Zorling comes out in 10th place. But here's the big question. What's gonna happen here with these two? Oh, is the caution out? Please tell me the caution's not out. The caution, I believe, is out. And there's a car on pit road. That is the 38 of Zygarde, who I think is making a regularly scheduled stop, but I think the caution flag is waving. It is. And this changes up everything. Now, everyone's going to be bunched up on the restart. We will get back green, but oh boy, is it going to get interesting now. I don't have a clue why the reason the caution is out. I'm assuming the 38 is making a regularly scheduled stop because he did have to pit a couple laps after everybody else since he was a little off the pit sequence, but I don't know initially who the wreck was for. But Carter Fargo is in for the restart of his life, which we'll see in just a minute after we go back and look at a replay of the caution flag coming out here late in Division 2 at Infineon. And the caution comes out, unfortunately, for a driver who is running inside the top 10 after the cycle of pit stops. Brad Mojo in the 34 just going to take this turn really wrong. Slides up into the right rear of Bob Jones, and it spins his number 34 NHL Ford Fusion around. And that was enough for NASCAR to throw the caution. And that's going to bunch everyone up. Fortunately, everyone avoided. There really was no damage at all for any drivers involved, but Mojo did lose quite a few valuable positions as a result. So that's what put us under the yellow flag. Fortunately, it's not going to take anybody out of the race, I don't believe. However, his teammate, also Webster Zygarde, was caught on pit lane. I believe he missed his pit stall, and he is currently scored 2 laps down to the leaders. He may be more when we get ready to go back to green flag racing. But that is the reason for the yellow flag coming out here late in Sonoma, California. And there you see Brad Mojo. He was up somewhere around, I think, the 12th position when he spun. He will be restarting in 20th place. So he lost about 8 positions off of that exchange. Still running, though, so he has a chance still to finish inside the top 20. But there's the guy that's got to have the pressure of the world on his shoulders right now. Carter Fargo in the Buick Regal, the single car race team out of Ajax Motorsports, has a former champion in Jacob Lawler right behind him, and then Lawler's teammate Cole Daly lined up there in the 3rd position, and the defending race winner Joshua Michaels right there in 5th place. He picked up about 3 spots on the start of this race. Don't count him out to maybe try and pick up 4 spots in the closing stages of this race, which, by the way, we will have a total of 3 laps remaining when we get back green. If the caution comes out at any point, I'm pretty certain the race will end under yellow, but being a single file restart, I doubt that is going to be the case. 41 of the 42 drivers who started this race are still running on the lead lap. The only one a lap down is Brad Mojo, due to him being off the pit sequence and that untimely caution coming out while he was on the pit lane. So he has scored 2 laps down to the leaders, but everyone is still running. There's nobody out of the race. But who's it going to be? Is it going to be Fargo? Is it going to be Lawler? Is it going to be Daly? Lisa Gonzalez right now running 4th. That would keep it status quo, the points lead between herself and Ty Dent. And Joshua Michaels right there in the 5th position for his 2nd win of the season and his 2nd straight win at Infineon. Here we go. Who is it going to be to take the checkered flag here at Infineon? Carter Fargo is ready, waiting on the flagman. Green flag is out, we're back underway, and Fargo got a good jump. Lawler kind of didn't. Cole Daly to the inside, out of the outside actually, of his teammate for 2nd, as Fargo's going to try and drive away with this thing. Everybody got really doubled up there too. That was quite a interesting restart. Some drivers got going, some drivers didn't. It was almost as if we had a double file restart in a way. And now Lawler will keep clear of his teammate Cole Daly. Now he'll go to work on trying to run down Carter Fargo in the 19. And he's on a mission. Holy cow, he just opened up a lot of distance between himself and Daly and closed a lot of distance between himself and Fargo. But the caution flag is out. The caution flag, the saving grace for Carter Fargo perhaps, is waving. Now Lawler's got just a tiny bit of time to make a move. Fargo was pretty smooth through that corner, so was Lawler. Lawler trying to close up the gap here. He's got about maybe 6 car lengths to try and make up as they head here into turn 11. The caution is undoubtedly going to end this race as they head through turn 11. Fargo tries to hit his marks. Lawler tries to groove lower. Here they come out of the final corner. Carter Fargo is going to put Buick Regal in victory lane for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history and wins his first career Snickers Cup Series race at Infineon. That caution coming out with 2 laps remaining. I very much doubt we are going to get back to green. This race, I'm pretty certain, is over. And Carter Fargo is going to capture his first Snickers Cup Series win. A guy who came in 6th in the point standings. It's going to be huge for him in the standings. And Buick Regal history is made 2 weeks in a row. Last week, Mercedes, for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history, goes to victory lane. And this week, Buick Regal, for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history, goes to victory lane here in Season 9. If Lawler had a little bit more time, he might have gotten him. There you see a shove by Lawler saying, "Good job there, rookie." But my goodness. That was such a timely caution for Fargo because Lawler was closing up the distance. Catching him is one thing, passing him is another, but I don't think Fargo would have liked to even have Lawler have the opportunity to try and make a move on him. So there is the caution. Let's see what the caution actually was that forced the yellow flag to come out here and end this race under the yellow flag. And this involved Liam Irving in the 53. Let's see how this contact initially starts. Looks like Christopher Pierce may get into the right rear of Benjamin Miles. Actually, that's not Christopher Pierce. Yeah, that is Christopher Pierce. And Miles gets turned around in front of the field. Liam Irving gets turned down into the concrete wall. Canepa took out some caution cones there. And then everybody's trying to go through the grass. Canepa got clipped right there. I think he was able to save it, though. We'll look and see for sure. And then everybody's trying to get by. Dylan Young, wow! Just barely avoids. And then I think, Eric Powers. A little bit of contact there to the 53. And the 53 actually, you see him going backwards? Well, I think maybe something broke when he tried doing that. Now you can see right there, it's almost like the car has no power. I think the engine may have let go. And his car actually stalled right there in that portion. And that was definitely a need for them to throw a caution. You can't have a stalled race car there when knowing that they were going to have to come around that portion of track at least 2 more times under green. So, wise move on the part of NASCAR to throw that caution flag. But still, kind of, in a way, maybe messed up what could have been a really great battle for the win. But that is the reason for the caution coming out. Let's head back now, as the white flag has been displayed for Carter Fargo. Now, a couple of drivers were on pit road here on this white flag lap. Isaac Canepa was on pit road, so too was Ian Dutta. Mason Powers, and I believe there was one other driver, I think, that hit the pit lane. Not certain who it was. It might have been the 36 of Eric Powers. So I'm not certain why some of them made pit stops. I think Powers made a pit stop to repair his damage. I think maybe Canepa did the same. Ian Dutta, though, I'm not really sure why he hit the pit lane, and Lee Mervig was able to continue even though his car had stalled out there. They were able to get him back to pit road. He is still running. He is 41st right now. I believe, yeah, he is a lap down. But we're on the white flag lap, and it's going to be Carter Fargo winning the race. Lawler will finish in second. I believe that's his second place finish this season. I think his first one came at, was it Rockingham, UK? It might have been. Then you got Lisa Gonzalez. Great run for her in third, so I believe the points lead Ty Dent would have heading next week would now be 24 points, because Lisa finishing one position higher in this division than Ty Dent did in Division 1. Joshua Michaels, yet another great outing for this guy at Infineon. Had a win last season, a 4th place run this season. Great run for him. This will help move him up in the standings, back up maybe inside the top 25. And Eric Burton will possibly move his way up into the top 10 in points with a 5th place run here today, as he came into this race 13th in the standings. Jeffrey Finguy, didn't really talk much about him. A great run for him in the 6th position. 7th place is going to be Cole Daly. 8th place, Zach Krostowski. The pole sitter, Kyle Corbett, really never talked about him since the beginning of the race, but he hung in there in the top 10 with a solid run of 9th, and Bob Jones is going to complete out the top 10 here today. So Carter Fargo. Man, last season, no wins when he drove the number 70 Haas Automation Yellow Transportation Chevrolet. Little could he know that this season he'd come in a single car race team in a Buick Regal, and he would take his first checkered flag in Snickers Cup Series career here at the road course of Infineon. Here he comes down to the line. Flagman is ready to wave the checkered flag over the hood of the Subway Buick. Carter Fargo is officially your winner here in Division 2 at Infineon Raceway. As we'll wait for the long snake of 42 cars to make their way across the start-finish line for the standings to become official, you can take a look here at pretty much what's going to be your official finishing results from this race here in Division 2. I thought maybe we were going to get it all the way to the end, green flag racing. We made it up to about lap 10, but not quite able to get there, as that caution ended up coming out there just after the cycle of green flag pit stops. Race is now official. Carter Fargo, officially now, is the winner of the race. You can take a look at the rest of your finishing results here. The drivers that are listed a 1 lap down there are actually, I guess, the drivers that came to pit road. Zach Rogers was the other driver that came to pit road. I wasn't sure who it was. I knew the 79, 32, 8 had all come to pit road, but apparently the 63 was the other one who did as well. Didn't really hear much out of our 2-time winners. Danny Wells finished in 25th, and Robert Piet finished in 34th. So not much out of them, and also not a whole lot out of Nick Pericles, last week's winner. He finished in the 19th position, and there you see Brad Mojo, that one that spun out to bring us under that first caution. He did finish in the 20th position, so he was able to salvage something anyway. So that ends Division 2. That's your full finishing results. Let's head over now for Division 3, as so far we've had 2 pretty interesting race winners here today at Infineon. So we're ready to go here in Division 3, and as you can clearly see, as the day has waned on, it has become very overcast here now. A bit of a shadow cast over the entire road course here at Infineon. Temperatures are getting a little bit cooler here too, so that could play into a different type of track condition for these drivers to have to try and counter here today. Let's head down to the trackside real quick for the command to fire up the engines here in Division 3.
Drivers, start your engines!
And on the front row for this race, it's going to be Trent Dunham on the point, alongside of Sean Galligan. Two former NNSCRA champions who really have had their Snickers Cup Series Season 9 come off to a really rocky start. And then right behind them, a couple of rookies who have been to victory lane already this season. Dunlaprad winning at Bristol, and Tristan Wilhoit winning, I believe it was at Charlotte. So, little interesting two sides of the spectrum there. As, wow, Wilhoit almost turned Galligan there under the pacing. But we're getting ready to turn him loose here for Green Flag Racing. There's another couple stories we got to follow up that I'll get to in just a moment. But we're ready to turn him loose here for 17 laps of racing. Overcast conditions here in Division 3. Green flag is out. We're underway in the final division race here at Infineon. I'll tell you, did not get going. That was Jay Barker in the 58. He held a lot of people up there. As Galligan and Dunham side by side. Galligan, a former Mobile Cup Series champion. Trent Dunham, a former Truck Series and Mobile Cup Series champion. And he will lose the lead to Sean Galligan. Galligan to the point. Wilhoit going to look for second underneath of Trent. As Dunlaprad hangs there in the fourth position. And Wilhoit now moves into second. So Trent Dunham very quickly dropping from the pole back to third. Almost shades of what we saw happen to Kyle Corbett in the Division 2 race. But a couple of things I wanted to talk about here, as now things are starting to spread out a little bit up here at the front. First off, we've had two different winners here today. Both winners came in the top 10 in points. William Duncan, who won in Division 1, came in 9th in points, and Carter Fargo, who came into this race 6th in points, won the Division 2 race. Right now, up here at the front, we don't have anybody that can fit that criteria for Division 3, because the drivers who come in running well in points here for Division 3, a number of them started near the rear of the field, including James Silverfox. He's currently, well, he's scored right now in 37th. We'll see where he crosses the stripe this time. He's going to cross in the 34th position. He came in 4th in points, and a bit ways behind him is Zach Buchanan. There he is. He was scored 39th the last lap around. He comes in 5th in the standings. The only other driver that we can really look for is Cody Lamas in the 48. Let's see where he is. He's 28th right now. Wow, Dion Scott took that turn wide, and Cody Lamas going to pick up a nice, easy position right there. So right now, Lamas, Buchanan, and Silverfox really have their work cut out for them to be able to try and get up there and keep their positions up inside the top 10 in the point standings. See Ryan Rezzo back there, our winner last week, the one who got Mercedes-Benz into victory lane for the first time in Snickers Cup Series history. He's currently scored in the 37th position. And then one driver that can move inside the top 10 in points with a good run today, James Qualls. There he is, currently in the 33rd position right now. Another one that could move up there is actually running really well right now. Got a good qualifying position. That's Dylan Casella right now in the 8th position is where he is scored. There's Richard Johnson right now in 6th behind Charles Belding and just ahead of Chris Dollerton. Richard Johnson looking for his first win of the season, and keep in mind, as I look at Richard, it makes me remember that this is race 10. After race 13, we got the All-Star race, and Richard Johnson's actually the defending race winner of the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race last year at FTF. As Galligan continues to lead, Wilhoit 2nd, Laprade in 3rd. Dunlaprad, as a matter of fact, he has that win at Bristol, as I mentioned, but he is way down in the point standing, so for him to have an opportunity to make the chase for the championship, he needs to get a lot more better finishes. And right now, he's up in that 3rd position, running well right now here at Infineon, so this is exactly what he needs to do. Is Trent Dunham is going to fall into the clutches of Charles Belding. Belding going to make a move on him here in turn 11. It's a good run for Charles Belding. We really have not talked much about the 85 pretty much all season, to my knowledge, and having a good run right now, trying to take the 4th position away from a 2-time NNSCRA champion. We got a battle on for the 2nd position now. Wilhoit was actually challenging Galligan for the lead, but Laprade ran him down, and now he's put the pressure on the 09 for that spot. Looks like he may actually be able to take it here through this corner, and indeed he will. Nice move there by Dunlaprade to move into the 2nd position. So new second place driver in the Tech Slayer Chevrolet. Now he'll go to work on trying to run down the current leader, Sean Galligan. That battle for fourth place went away very quickly. Belding took the position away from Trent Dunham, and now it's Richard Johnson starting to try and run down the number 3 Grid Chevrolet SS. Seeing a couple teammates back here, either just inside or outside the top 10, not sure which. They're just outside the top 10, actually. Running in 12th place right now is David Rivera, and right behind him is Dorian Facepuncher in the 55. 2 drivers out of Heavy Metal Hip Hop Racing, 2 drivers who have really had a tough start to their rookie season in Snickers Cup, and right now both of them running very well, just outside of the top 10, trying to make their way around rookie Dylan Casella. There's Joshua Collard. Collard's actually 19th in points right now. Still looking for his first win of Season 9. He was a 2-time winner in Season 8 last year when he drove in a Mitsubishi Lancer for Gonzalez S3 Motorsports. Collard doing very well right here, very well known for his road course racing experience, and right now having a very good run in the 13th position. There's Nick Smith in the 15th position, had a good run last week at Las Vegas as I remember, and he comes in 40th in the point standings. In my opinion, quite honestly, in this series, with the fact that there are so many drivers in this series, if you can put yourself in the top 40 in points, you're in a good spot. If you're outside the top 40, then you got to start worrying about trying to get yourself back up inside the top 40, because in all honesty, the top 40 is where a lot of the moves are made. And also, when you think about it too, the top 40 is going to really be the box that really I think is going to determine who's going to make it into the chase and who isn't, based on the winners this season. I mean, right now, as I look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 race winners coming into this race that were in the top 40 in points. And then if you add in Carter Fargo and William Duncan's wins so far here today, that's 17 different race winners that are inside the top 40 in points. And only 16 race winners can make their way into the chase for the championship. So that, to me, it really pinpoints the top 40 in points, that is where you want to be if you're going to get a win and have yourself in contention for making the chase for the championship here in Season 9. Right now, though, Sean Galligan, I think the first step for him is win a race, then concentrate on getting to the top 40 in points. And right now, he's doing a good job of at least trying to check one thing off of his checklist. Galligan was a 2-time winner last season in Snickers Cup. Made the chase, but really it wasn't much of a factor once the chase began. So we'll see what he could do as he's trying to pick up his first win of Season 9 to kind of turn around what's been a very dismal start to the season for him. And we saw his teammate Joshua Michaels come away with a great run here in the Division 2 race, so maybe, just maybe, Sean Galligan may be able to have learned something from his teammate here, and he may be able to apply it in this Division 3 race. But he's got Dunn LaPrade starting to run him down a little bit here, and Tristan Wilhoit's about to maybe join the fray as well, make it a 3-man fight for the lead. As Galligan, I don't know if maybe Galligan might be letting off a little bit here, might be maybe conserving a little bit of fuel, because we are nearing that point, just like in Division 2, where green flag pit stops may come into play. Dunn LaPrade backing off of the 44 a little bit there too. He may be going back now into conservation mode. And Tristan Wilhoit as well. And it's going to be interesting to see here. I don't know for certain, but you know, there's 2 different things that could be the outcome of the green flag pit stops that seem to be what are going to happen in just a couple of laps. Are they going to end up having that very timely caution like they had in Division 2, where a car ended up spinning out and bringing out the yellow flag, or will these drivers have to go coast to coast from green flag to checkered flag without a caution coming out? If that's the case, strategy is definitely going to be key when and if these green flag pit stops take place. Let's look and see if our top guns in points, if they've been able to make up any ground. Silver Fox has actually lost a couple of positions. He's fallen back to 35th. He was up to 33rd at one point. It doesn't look like Zach Buchanan's made up much ground either, right now in the 38th position. Cody Lamas was up, I think he was in 22nd when we last looked. He is now in the 27th position in the 48 machine, just ahead of Connor Breton and Levi McIntyre. So right now, 3 drivers came in running really well in points, not exactly running too well, and it's not too good for them either because a number of drivers that they were battling in the top 10 in points had pretty decent finishes. Tim Walsh, as I recall, had a good finish. William Duncan, of course, won. Louvier had a good finish. Carter Fargo, of course, won. Lisa Gonzalez finished top 5. Ty Dent, the points leader, finished top 5. So this is not exactly good for these guys right now. We'll back up here to the front. Sean Galligan still has that little train behind him of Dunn LaPrade and Tristan Wilhoit. Nobody's come to pit road yet. They'll be pitting in about 2 laps though. Interesting thing here too that I've noticed, nobody has decided to roll the dice here in Division 3 and pit early. It hasn't seemed to really work out in the favor of those drivers that try that strategy. You remember James McLeod, Charles Jackson, Chris Washer, and a number of others tried it in Division 1. They got caught a lap down and finished very poorly. Webster Zygarde tried going off the pit sequence very early in Division 2. As a result, he finished 2 laps down and finished dead last. So these drivers not willing to really try and short pit right now. I think the strategy is going to happen when they all come in and when they get into their pit box. That's when I think the strategy is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen as far as anybody trying to come down an extra lap early. Maybe stay out an extra lap late. That might be the only thing you might see, but I don't think you're going to see anybody coming in early. Speaking of coming in, though, Sean Galligan is in. Dunn LaPrade's following him. Tristan Wilhoit is going to stay out an extra lap. Richard Johnson stays out. Looks like Dollarton, Blaine Keys. Dylan Casella stays out. Face Puncher, TJ Dent, Nick Smith, Joshua Collard, Carson Gum, Jerry Guerra. Joshua Mudd staying out along with Stephanie Gardner, Hawkins, Henley, Pemberton, Kyle, Pedro, Maley, Lamas, Connor Breton, Levi McIntyre, Pollard, Nova, Nathan Hudson, Silver Fox, Rezzo, Shelton, Buchanan, Navarro, Acosta, Shrigley, and Ryan Shelton. They are all staying out an extra lap. So we'll follow Galligan here. He's down and away. And whoa, look out. He almost hit the pace car just like Cole Daly did, but he was able to get out of pit road first. So Sean Galligan, very strong pit stop. LaPrade came out second. Third was Belding. Got a little battle coming off pit road here between Trent Dunham and Jay Barker. And now we'll jump to the 09 of Tristan Wilhoit. Now the pressure is on his crew to get him off pit road before Sean Galligan and Dunn LaPrade make their way back around. Undoubtedly, everybody else is going to be coming in this lap that didn't come in the last lap. I'd be very surprised if anyone stayed out. Johnson's in, Dollarton, Blaine Keys, Casella, Face Puncher, Dent, Collard, they're all in. And now comes the pressure stop for Tristan Wilhoit's team. His win at Charlotte came due to the help of a lot of slower lap cars. Today, he's got to try and earn it with his pit crew's green flag pit stop. And I don't know if that caution flag may loom or not. He's down and away. Is he going to come out ahead of Galligan, though? Where's the 44? I don't see him. I think Wilhoit's going to get out ahead. Where in the world is Galligan? There's Galligan. Richard Johnson came out even ahead of Galligan. And now it gets interesting. Pit stop cycle around. I'm hoping there's no caution. Wilhoit is gone. And we are still green. But Wilhoit, his crew, really put together a good pit stop. But now Galligan's on fresh tires. He could trying to run down that 09. But he's got a lot of ground to have to make up. He comes out second. Richard Johnson now cycles to third. Fourth, Dunn LaPrade. Fifth, Chris Dollarton. Sixth is Belding. Seventh, Blaine Keys. Eighth is Dorian Facepuncher. Barker is in ninth. and 10th place would be Trent Dunham. If I'm to wager a guess here, I believe that the second group of drivers who came to pit road are in much, much better shape than the drivers that came to pit road the first group. I mean, Richard Johnson, Chris Dollerton, they gained a ton of positions, and you see, Tristan Wilhoit came out ahead of Sean Galligan. Let's see what the gap was between Galligan and Wilhoit, 2.19. We're going to keep the ticker up here, actually. See if Sean Galligan is indeed closing up the gap between himself and Tristan Wilhoit. This is almost, again, a same case scenario that we saw in Division 2. A rookie, this time Wilhoit, last division Carter Fargo, going up against a former NNSCRA champion. Last division Lawler, this division Sean Galligan. And you think about it too, which one of these two wants it more? Wilhoit's got to win this season, 25th in points. Galligan is outside the top 120, I believe, and has no wins this season. So think about it, who wants that win more? And the thing for Galligan is he's got time to be able to make up some ground here too. That's the important thing. He doesn't have a caution flag bunching everybody up and then kind of taking his focus off of running down the leader Wilhoit. So it looks like we could go clean and green all the way to the checkered flag here in Division 3. Last time by was 2.19. This time by, the gap is 2.18. He only made up a 100th. That is not good for Sean Galligan. He needs to make up a lot more time than that. This will take the ticker away for now. There's Chris Dollerton. What a great run he's having right now there in the 33. He's about to catch up here to his teammate Dunn LaPrade. That could be a potential battle for the third position. Charles Belding right behind him in that 5th spot. And there is Galligan. Let's go on board with him, see what he's seeing. Personally cannot tell if he is closing up the gap or not. Battle on for third. Dunn LaPrade has it. Teammate Chris Dollerton wants it. And we'll go to the ticker again, see if the gap closed up between Tristan Wilhoit and Sean Galligan. This time, it actually grew. I think Galligan may be hoping that caution had come out now, because he is losing ground to Tristan Wilhoit. Wilhoit going to try and see if he can join Robert Piet and Danny Wells as a 2-time winner here in Season 9 and make a case for himself to make this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. Brad, right now it seems like he's kind of clear of Dollerton. I don't think that battle's going to heat up again for a bit. But Galligan doing everything he can to try and run down Wilhoit. And the lap times were much different too. A 113.9 for Wilhoit last time, 114.4 for Sean Galligan. Wilhoit was just about maybe 2/10 off of his fastest lap so far here today. We'll see what happens this time around. It's about 2.6, the gap between himself and Galligan last time. It looks like it has grown. This time a 113.8. Galligan, 114.6. Galligan is fading, and I think, unless something miraculous happens, Tristan Wilhoit right now has got this race in the bag. Joseph Srigley is currently dead last in the 42nd position out of turn 11. Wilhoit is in the other half section of the racetrack, so no slower machines will come into play. The only thing I can think Galligan can hope for now is that Wilhoit somehow gets overconfident and makes a mistake, but he has not made a mistake yet. That's a spot where he could have made a mistake, but he didn't. As a matter of fact, Galligan may have more important things to worry about as well, because Dunn LaPrade and Chris Dollerton, the two of them, are starting to slowly reel in Sean Galligan for what would be second and third place. It was that pit stop, that green flag pit stop, that was the deciding factor. And I don't rightly know if it was the fact that Galligan had to slow up to go around the pace car on his pit stop or what that caused him to be so far behind Tristan Wilhoit when they came off pit road. Whatever the case, though, it was that pit stop that was the deciding factor, and Wilhoit's team came through. So right now, Tristan Wilhoit just got to hit his marks for about a little bit more than another lap, and he will be going to victory lane for the second time this season as a rookie, and picking up the second win of the season for Rogers Motorsports. Still, you can just see the gap back there. It's a long ways back to Sean Galligan. Wilhoit very clean through that corner again. Galligan trying to do what he can, but his lap times are much, much slower than Wilhoit's. Last time by, it was about maybe 0.2 slower than Wilhoit. He has not been able to run a faster lap than Wilhoit for the last 3 or so laps. So Tristan Wilhoit coming down here to receive the white flag here at Infineon. One more time around, with a huge gap between himself and the second place driver, Sean Galligan. You almost couldn't even see Galligan in that camera shot. He's just got to be nice and smooth, hit his marks, not make any mistakes. I don't think, even if he ran really slowly through the corners here, if he let off and kind of coasted through the corners, I don't think Galligan has enough time to be able to close up the gap to make a move on him. Wilhoit right now, he just has to hit his marks like he's been doing for the past 5 or so laps. Through the S's for the final time, snaking his way through. Maybe taking them a little bit easier than he normally would. Got to go through this corner smoothly. He doesn't get off track. Wilhoit running a picture-perfect lap here. And it's going to be enough to get him to victory lane for the second time this season. What a season he's been having as a rookie. He had a great run at Charlotte. That came down to strategy as far as getting around lap cars. Strategy today as far as having a fast enough pit stop to get out ahead of everybody. And it worked to perfection. Tristan Wilhoit wins here today, his second win of the season. His first at Infineon Raceway. And now he joins Danny Wells and Robert Piet as a 2-time winner here in Season 9 in Snickers Cup. Are we looking at a future Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship driver? Standings will be official very shortly, I'm sure. Just waiting for everyone to cross the start-finish line. Over 5.5 seconds was the gap between Wilhoit and Sean Galligan for the finish of that race. Wilhoit, as soon as he made that pit stop, he turned up the heat, apparently. Chris Dollerton was able to get around Dunn LaPrade for the 3rd position. And I believe the standings are just about to be official now. They are indeed now official. Wilhoit with the win, Galligan in second. He would have loved to have won, but I'm sure he'll settle for a second place finish as he's continuing to try and work his way up through the points. Chris Dollerton, a great run for him in 3rd. His teammate Dunn LaPrade in 4th, and Charles Belding, this might be his best career finish, in the 5th position. Richard Johnson with 6th, Dorian Facepuncher 7th, Blaine Keys in 8th, 9th Jay Barker, and pole sitter Trent Dunham finished out the day in 10th. Joshua Collard, 19th in points coming to this race, finished in 11th, so great run for him. We may see him up inside the top 10 in points, maybe, depending on where the other drivers finished. As far as the other drivers came in running well in points, Cody Lamas came in 11th in points. He finished 25th here today. And we didn't really see Silver Fox nor Buchanan up there at the front at all as a result of poor qualifying results. Silver Fox finished out the day in 34th, and Zach Buchanan finished in 40th position. And something apparently happened to the 37 of Dion Scott, because we saw Srigley was actually dead last a while ago. Dion Scott actually finished dead last 53 seconds back. But everybody finished on the lead lap, and we went clean and green from the start of the race to the finish of the race. So, we had 3 winners here today, 2 of them for the first time in Season 9, one of them a repeat winner here in Season 9. William Duncan wins Division 1, Division 2 goes to Carter Fargo, and Division 3 here goes to Tristan Wilhoit. So, what's this going to mean for the point standings? I believe Ty Dent will still be the points leader. Lisa Gonzalez will still be second. I believe the points differential will be 24 points, but I've been wrong before based on our new point system and everything, so I may be wrong again. But congratulations to our 3 different race winners here today. We've had Dodge go to victory lane in 2 of the events, and for the first time in NNSCRA history, Buick wins in Snickers Cup Series competition. Hope you guys enjoyed these 3 races here from Infineon. We'll take and show you your finishing results from Division 3 one more time here. If you enjoyed these 3 races, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. This is your official finishing results. You can look back and see the Division 1, Division 2 finishing results as well. Your point standings are coming up next here, and we will see you guys next week for race number 11 as we're getting close to All-Star Race Weekend. You've been watching a production of NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.